I'm happy to speak briefly on this bill, and I salute Deputy O'Callaghan and his office for highlighting this matter. Deputy O'Callaghan informs us that the purpose of the legislation is to give greater support and protection to victims of sexual violence, gender-based violence or violence in a close relationship in circumstances where they make a complaint to an Garda Síochána. It will also seek to amend Section 17 of the Criminal Justice Victims of Crime Act 2017, so that where a victim of sexual violence makes a complaint, they will be provided with relevant information and legal advice by a solicitor funded by the Minister. I am sure this proposal we can all support once the mechanics of it, how it's implemented, are strictly defined. If it is to be state funded, we certainly do want to see don't want to see a repeat of the scenario where it amounts to that provided by government to cover the costs associated with civil and criminal legal aid. Our intentions may be honourable with the bill, but things have a habit of developing a life of their own where legal costs and solicitors' fees are involved, and I'm not having to go with Deputy O'Callaghan here. For example, the Minister for Justice, Deputy Flanagan, confirmed to me in a parliamentary reply that over €605 million has been allocated for legal aid since 2011 to 2000 and halfway through 2017. This is at a time when the Garda stations were being closed, left, right and centre throughout the country, and overtime cuts to Gardaí, and indeed some of them didn't even have proper patrol cars. And when supports for women's refuges, like the exit in Coonsare in my own town of Clonmel, were being drastically reduced. I have been highlighting this issue since at least 2013, when the scale of the crisis among such groups and refugees trying to offer shelter is putting the welfare of women and children at serious risk. Coonsare's core funding has decreased by 110,000 since 2010, despite the increase in referrals to their service. In some years, Coonsare, the Clonmel-based refuge, has been unable to accommodate up to 212 women and 256 children in 1 year, and that's staggering. In light of these figures, how can the government's response, which has been to further slash funding, be seen as anything but reprehensible hypocrisy? Minister, I put that to you. These refugees do extraordinary work, and I salute the staff members who regularly go beyond the call of duty in providing care and shelter when they can. Unfortunately, thanks to the absurd lack of funding, all of this is in direct danger of collapse. And we had a huge fundraiser recently, Music Under the Arches, every year annually, where we raise around 17,000. They have enough to do to look after the most vulnerable people under attack, women and children. Not to be fundraising, Minister. Pony up and fund them and give them the funding, and don't be having hypocritic statements. Lack of places in refuges is not only the problem to be faced, however. Under 2011 housing regulations, and this is very serious, women who are joint owners of a home and are not deemed to have a housing need unless they are divorced or formally separated, even if they have fled the home because of severe violence. This means they cannot be added to the housing list, are unable to get rent supplement. This causes huge levels of difficulty for the women and the families who are trying to break the link with a highly abusive partner. This is also an issue that needs to be urgently addressed on top of the issues raised by Deputy O'Callaghan. So I want to support Deputy O'Callaghan's bill and conclude there. Good.